Hi, I'm Caroline van Rooyen, author of Any Girl, and I'm going to read to you from Chapter 1, A Threatening Note. A tightly folded note lands on my desk. Annoyed, I flick it to the floor and kick it behind me. Trigger-happy Mrs. Horrick is teaching and I don't want a Friday detention. Within seconds, the note reappears on my desk like a persistent fly, which raises the question, why is someone bugging me right now, demanding my immediate attention? Of course, my mind flips back to last Friday, like a tongue finding the gap left by an extracted tooth, and my fingers tremble as I unfold the note and read, "Now you die." I freeze. Feel the glare of a spotlight placing me center stage. This is a joke, isn't it? I glance across the room at the usual clowns, the rugby boys, and try to catch the eye of their leader, David McNeil, to say he's gone too far. But he has his head down on his desk and his eyes closed. If this was his setup, he'd be watching for my outrage or scared reaction, ready to lead the mocking laughter. Acid bile starts to rise up my throat as fear digs its sharp nails into my flesh. No, don't go there. They don't know what happened. I study each member of that team, all fake sleeping, until hesitantly I reach the last desk in that row. Kevin Abbott sits low in his chair, hands thrust deep into his trouser pockets, eyes closed. Like a snake hiding in the grass, sensing my gaze, he looks up at me, raises one eyebrow, winks slowly, then settles back down. He's not a pretty snake. His cheeks are a rash of white zits. His mouse-brown hair is lank. Fortunately for him, 2 cold sores prove that he has lips. Terror sweat reignites a scorching net of cigarette burns and cuts the cover of my body. I know it was Kevin who wrote that note. That makes the threat real. Kevin rigs drugs for Travis Richter. Travis Richter leads the school's criminal gang, selling drugs, stolen goods, and even examination papers. Last Friday night, Richter's boys tossed me into the hands of a rapist. I can smell the cigarette smoke, feel my flesh burning, and hear the words, "You're picking them young." This one's what, 10? No, an undersized 15. They laugh. The short, harsh yips of wild dogs encircling a kill. I was a child. Last Friday, I was a child. I'm shaking so badly my teeth clatter and click like cheap grandma dentures. I scan the door. Is it already too late? Are they out there waiting for me? How do they intend to do it? A knife? A bullet? Or a shove over the balcony? I have to leave now. Legally, I can't just get up and walk out of the school. I need a permission slip from the office. The office is a staircase and 2 quads away. That's a long time to be a target. I can go AWOL, but if the school finds out, they'll report me to child welfare. Mom and I don't want child welfare sniffing at our door, not now. Hey, July, bell's gone. I nearly wet myself. Johnny Dunch looms over me, all muscle and blonde buzz cut, smelling faintly of soap and sweat. He plays prop for the under-16 rugby team and is the size of a barn door and a little less smart. What is he doing at my desk? Is he my killer? I scoot up against the wall. This doesn't get me far enough away. Why him? He never speaks to me. We're not friends. Want help? He asks, stepping closer and reaching for my bag. No! Don't touch me. Stay away. With hands the size of oven gloves, he could snap my neck like a twig. Will you two please leave? Mrs. Horrick calls from the front of the class. My grade 12 group will be arriving any minute, and you'll be late for your next class. Yes, ma'am. Right away, ma'am. I stand up, forgetting to brace myself for the wave of pain that crashes across my body as my wounds pull, rip, and bleed. All the air is sucked out of my lungs. As I lean heavily on my desk, swirls and webs twist and glide across my vision. I'm broken. How can I fight? I need a hospital, not a battlefield. Mrs. Horrocks says, if you don't leave now, I will send you both to the office. That's where I'm going. I'm sick, I reply, stuffing my books into my bag, which I then use as a shield to push back Johnny. Out the way, Johnny, I need to leave. I'm a Yorkshire Terrier attempting to shove a St. Bernard. Unless it wants to move, it won't. Pan-faced, he takes my bag out of my hands and slings it over his shoulder. I'll take you. He heads for the door. Do I trust him? He's not my friend, but he's not my enemy. General opinion is that he's too lazy to be mean. Does laziness also make you trustworthy? His father's a pastor. Why did that come to my mind? Nice parents can generate thugs. He's a classmate. Time is short and I need help. I follow him out the door. He calls to his friends who are waiting outside. Hey, David, tell Van Zale I'm taking July to the office. A roar of laughter erupts. Sure, okay, David McNeil replies. I'll give him your message. It won't help you survive if you don't bring a late note. David goes off, taking his group with him. Comments float back. Johnny's slumming it. Wants chips, not caviar. Johnny ignores them and looks back at me as if to say, come on, time's money. He makes a great bodyguard, silent and focused. No chit-chat. Slower traffic bulldozed out the way. Those foolish enough to consider us a newly formed Johnny-July duo will surely judge it a serious lack of judgment on his part. It is, because now Richter will turn his sights on Johnny. Then again, with all the school's rugby team on Johnny's side, maybe it isn't even an issue for him. Does Johnny work for Richter? Why would he? Richter sells drugs. Johnny doesn't do drugs. He's as innocent as a newborn hippo. So why is this giant helping me? Someone is pulling his strings. Will he demand a security payment from me? The only deal I'll make will be in cash. I have money, but not on me right now. We pass through the tunnel into the East Quad and then slow down. In this quad with its staff room, the principal's office, and the administrative offices, an adult is always watching. I feel safer already. At the office door, Johnny gives me my bag and leaves. It's like he had a job to do, and he did it. I'm confused and grateful. Pushing open the door, I head for the counter, determined to get permission to go home, where I know I'll be safe. I want to stay alive. I wrote Any Girl because I have spoken and listened to many girls who have been raped. And I wanted a story that reveals what it is to be a girl who has been raped, what it is like, how they move forward into this world. And I wanted to take July, who doesn't move forward in a regular way. She moves forward in a different way. She makes very different choices, and she gets to a very, very different conclusion from what society today generally puts out is the direction girls who have been raped are allowed to go in. Because I feel that the way things are right now, everything has to change. This is not a good society for girls right now. So I wrote Any Girl as a call to action. Thank you. I hope you'll enjoy my book. Good night.